I can't hear you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. All right, you guys. How was your weekend?
Great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why was it so great, Lindsay?
I went to this awesome restaurant with these super annoying people.
True that. Guys, we taste tested Lindsay's protein that she's coming out with, and it is good.
Yeah, we had all my neighborhood friends came over yesterday, and they loved it too.
Oh,
yeah,
it's so good. So
and they're normal people. We're like fitness people. They're normal people, and they like it too.
Awesome. Well, you guys, yeah, you're gonna really enjoy that protein when it comes out eventually. We'll see.
Yeah, someday.
It might be out already, but it'll be good. How are you doing, Eric? Good. I think you're
There we go.
There we go.
Muting is hard. Pushing buttons. I'm doing great.
Good, man.
I've been in withdrawal a little bit, missing the Friday afternoon call, worried that I missed an assignment. Obsessively checking the classroom to see if it's
there you go. Good. Well, thanks for being patient with us, guys, with that Google Classroom. It's definitely not our end solution by any means. I know there's been some permission issues whenever because we have the assignments all mapped out, and then as soon as something goes live, it resets every single assignment, like backdates and forward, and it changes the permission setting every single time. And basically what it's changing it to is that you can only submit unless if you have a divulge marketing email, or if you've only submitted one response. And so it's not letting you do multiple responses or let you use any of your personal emails unless that box is unchecked and then saved again. But I have my assistant on it. There's just 50 or to 100 different things that she has to click and save to make sure that it all goes through. So if she misses one, that's what's going on. But as soon as you request, I get a notification and then I forward it to her, and then she's very fast at getting it up and running. So sorry for the kind of the back and forth on that and getting that figured out, but we'll get through it. We'll figure it out. So how's Wanda doing?
I just came from a walk, so and I did a video, so yeah.
You're good.
I'm
How's Farron doing?
It's really hot. It's really hot over here. It's like 80 degrees or something. So.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I'm tired of this cold weather. My joints feel like they're gonna fall off. My elbows and knees. I don't know. And I'm not even old yet. I'm gonna be a wreck if I get any older. So
but
how's
are
Farron?
good. Okay.
Doing good. I was just laughing. I saw your picture of the lion in the background, and one time I was at a store and saw this random llama picture, and I really wanted to get it to have in my background, but it was kind of pointless, so I didn't, but it made me laugh.
Good. No, it's actually kind of funny. My sister, she is I don't know. She's always had this, she's pretty cool, but she can be kind of weird sometimes. When she was little, she collected frogs, frog stuffed animals or ornaments or pictures. Her whole room was frogs. Well, it's now she's married and all grown up, and it's llamas now, and it's llamas everywhere.
That's awesome.
But I guess llamas are a lot cooler than frogs now.
That's right.
Whatever. Who else do we have on here that I can't see? Let's see here. I got Paul, Stephanie, Tracy. You guys all doing good? You can comment if you don't want to show your face.
Yeah, not yet. Give me a minute.
Awesome. Well, cool, you guys. Well, let's just kind of let's take 5 minutes and let's just talk about how the content creation process is going for you. Or if you're feeling like you're getting into a habit, where are the hangups? Where are you having like, sticking points where it's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to create. Let's just talk through some of those for the next 5 minutes and see if we can kind of help with a few things. And then we're going to dive into some training for the next little bit. I'm going to switch over here. Mason and I, we're going to be whiteboarding some stuff for you and going through some training and answering questions on some stuff. And then we'll give you some assignments that will keep you guys busy. Strategically busy, not just busy for the sake of being busy, guys. Strategic. So how's the content creation process going? Are you feeling like it's getting easier? Let's just kind of get an update. Whoever wants to go.
I can start. Want me to start? I can start. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. For me, I think it's getting easier because I can, it's like now a habit, okay? So yeah, I need to do my video. And now that you I was doing like seconds video, like, because they were like invitations to come and talk to me. And then I'm realizing it's not like, I don't know, I haven't seen that many views, so I'm concerned. And then now that you put on the assignment, they need to be longer than like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. So today I did one that is longer. My struggle is just to tie my industry to my message, because I'm more like natural motivator. Like I like to motivate people and inspire people to get better in life. But then tying into my business of real estate is hard for me, oh, come do fix and flip with me, motivate you. So that's kind of where that transition. So the video that I did today, I feel even more better because I talk about winning or losing or quitting. And then I didn't even mention real estate. So I want to know if that's a better approach, things like that. That's where I'm struggling.
Yeah, so those are great observations. Anybody else who's been posting onto or doing their videos on their business pages notice like less video views or less engagement? Yeah, like it's a real thing. And not that I think it's funny, Wanda, but I do think it's kind of funny, right? Because what we know, what we're gonna be talking about today is gonna help you with this, okay? But I want you to disregard the numbers. Okay. The numbers don't mean anything. What if you had 10 views, but one of those people resonated with the message and then they reached out to you? Okay. I don't get a lot of views. I don't get Lindsay style views, right? I don't get 1,000 views in the first like minute, right? Right. And most of us won't get that unless we are consistently doing the work for like 5-6 years, right? That's what she's been doing, is consistently doing what we're talking about every single day, creating a video or 2 videos for 5 years, right? And it's this snowball effect of people who know her, that know that she's going to be providing value over the course of this period of time. And what's crazy is that she's been doing it for so long, but even just like by using some of these formulas that we're teaching, when she started in the summer, the difference of what was happening prior to that to then what's happened from like July till now is pretty cool to watch. Just the improvement overall, because now it's more systematized, it's more focused in a direction. And so we're going to provide some framework today. That's where I'm going to be doing some training over here on the whiteboard. And I'm going to be helping you identify how to tie your stories to your actual message or your product or service. Okay. So kind of what you're talking about is exactly what we're going to go into, and how to relate it to the people that are in your market and where that all fits in to your overall marketing strategy as you start to scale and as you start to run ads and all that fun stuff. Okay.
Down, just one tiny little point to your point.
Yeah.
The content, it doesn't matter how many numbers you have because of what you said, but also it's evergreen, right? So somebody who sees you in 5 years from now, who loves you will go, oh my God, what have they been doing? And they'll go back and watch things that you've put out there before. So it's not like it's a waste of time or, oh, I'm only getting 10 people. You know, as your community grows, they're going to go back and watch all these things, and then they'll start sharing, and it's an organic kind of guerrilla marketing kind of thing, but it works.
Exactly. And all compounds. And like Tracy's saying, like now when we go to run ads for, you know, for example, for Lindsay or for any of you guys, or even like ourselves, like when we've created all of this content over the course of months and months and months, now when we go to run ads for that content, it's so much easier to just grab all of that content and start boosting it out. So you may have 100 views organically, and then like Tracy said, it's going to compound over time. And maybe you'll, you know, over the course of a month, you'll have 200 or so people going back as you start to gather traction and get more people like, you know, coming into your like the ecosystem, right? Then when you start putting some money behind those posts, now you can reach millions of different people in your targeting and start getting views just coming in. And the better the content, the lower the cost of those views. The more engaging your content is, the lower the cost and the more people you're going to reach. And then Facebook's going to rank your page as more relevant. And so then it's going to lower your cost even more. And so the method to all this madness of helping you identify, you know, when we started in, you know, in the training, identifying the problems, the pains, understanding the psychographics, the demographics, that's all conditioning to help you speak to your audience so that you get more and more refined. Okay. And then we'll talk about something today called UDA. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that, but we'll talk about it today and touch on that just a little bit.
The guy,
right? Awesome. Okay. Any other things that are just kind of coming up as you're creating content before we dive into some training?
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
We just looking around, you know, following your advice of finding other people to engage with who do the same thing we do. We found this lady up in British Columbia that does just what we do. And my wife was a little concerned about it. Oh no, she does just exactly what we did. And I got all excited. Look at her messaging. It's awesome. We're going to steal that. Not steal it, but
model it.
Right, exactly. So
it's awesome.
How far down can you, I guess, how exactly, I wouldn't want to copy her stuff exactly, but how much can you copy somebody like that or model somebody like that without getting in trouble?
If she tells a story about like her childhood, I probably wouldn't, you know, say that same story. I'm just kidding. Or about her kids, I probably wouldn't tell the same story that she does. No, but what I would be looking for are what are the problems that she's talking about in the marketplace? What is she saying, or what is she talking about in terms of parenting? And the topics that she's talking about are typically probably really good places to start as ammo towards your own offers and stuff that you're doing.
Can I say something there? That's exactly what I do, because there's millions of people who do exactly what I do. And so I'll watch them and I'll just say, oh, that's a really good topic. But then I share my thoughts on the topic. And I don't cite them. I don't say, oh, I was looking at so-and-so's and I got this idea. I just spout it as my own idea. But I don't usually like do it on the same day. Like if we have like similar audiences, I'll just basically keep a list of topics that I see on social media. And I even used to have a system where like on Mondays I checked out like these 5 people's accounts. On Tuesday I went and looked at these 5 people. And basically it was only for topic ideas. And then I just had a list in my phone of all these topic ideas that I might not have thought of. And then I go share like my own perspective on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, and it's not like she's coming up with something that we haven't talked about already, but she does have a really good way of getting it out there. And she doesn't have an online course or a website or anything. She's just promoting a book. So we're different enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could take it for sure.
Go for it. Paul, did you have a question?
Yeah, so I just started telling people in my videos, you know, if you like this information, if you want more, private message me and I'll add you to a list of, send you information on my upcoming masterclass, right?
Yeah.
And so now I've got 2 people that have said, I'm interested in your masterclass.
Okay.
And one of them started asking questions, you know, well, how do I do this? And how do I do that? Which is exactly what is going to continue to happen. So how do you deal with that?
What do you mean? Like,
well, they're asking questions. So, you know, I talked about 2 ways to get your emotions right for raising money. And now they're saying, okay, so now what do I need to do for my presentation for the investors? And then how do I find the investors? It's just, you know, going to be 1,000 questions literally from every person that wants to be in my masterclass.
And that's where there might be something that we're going to talk about today that could help with this, and kind of corral all those people and get them in a place where you can then educate and then pitch. So at the end of today, if that question isn't answered, let's reevaluate it.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what's the right answer to push back to say, oh, good questions. You'll be learning that in the masterclass. Is that as simple as I need to do it?
Yeah. I mean, basically, yeah. And just the format of, you know, of the masterclass and what you do. But yeah, if they're asking certain questions, be like, oh, that's awesome. Like, that's a great question. I actually answer that in this training or in this masterclass, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Cool. Should we jump into some of this training here? Okay, I'm just going to turn off this video. I'm going to pull up my phone, and then we're going to jump over there, okay? So hold on just 1 second.
Ooda, ooda, ooda.
All right. Can you guys see that okay? Is the audio on? Yep, I think so.
I can see it.
And you guys can hear us too?
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so what I want to kind of talk about today is something that we've talked about a little bit when it comes to, we've talked about OODA, and you should know what OODA is by this point, but we're going to be talking about the OODA method. And this is going to tie in your content, your offers, and going to kind of bring everything together so that it starts to make more sense in terms of the whole of what we are doing. So OODA, if I drew this like funnel model here, okay? So in this model, we've talked about how inside of your ad account, you're gonna have different types of content. Typically, when we're talking about this, we're talking about top of funnel, middle of funnel, and then bottom of funnel content is how, like, historically we've been training on all of this, right? So these are kind of just all being positioned here. Now, we're going to take it one step further so we start to understand exactly where the actual consumer is. So I want you to think about your audience, and they're smiling. Can you see that they're smiling? So your audience is up here. And what we need to understand is that these people have certain pains and problems that they're facing. And we've talked about how the stronger the pain, the more profound the pain is, and the more that you can describe their pain better than they can describe their pain, then the better or the more likely they are to reach out to you, to engage, to purchase. So let's just think of this and let's talk about observation. So if your audience is observing at the top of the funnel, so these are cold audiences, people who have most likely never heard of you, never seen you, and at this stage in the business, like this is early on in your marketing, okay? So a lot of this is just observation. So their market is looking at your videos and they're observing and they're saying, wow, like looks like Eric just copied all of the content from that other lady. I'm just kidding. No, but they're thinking of and they're looking at the way that you're speaking to them. And are you speaking to their problems and pains? And so what the audience is looking for is basically they're realizing what their problems actually are. You're talking to the problems that they didn't even know they had, and you're creating and helping them understand the solutions to those problems at this stage. As they start to get warmed up to your messaging, your stories, they're starting to resonate now. And so they go from being cold to warmer, meaning that they're kind of leaning in a little bit. They're a little bit more excited to learn more about what your actual offer is. And so they start to orient themselves. So now think about, so they're observing what's going on. They're watching the videos. They're seeing your content. And then now they're starting to orient and they're starting to create a framework based on the content that you've been producing and the solutions you've been talking about. They're starting to think, let's just take an example. They're realizing that the problem is that they have, they're an entrepreneur and they're emotionally wanting to raise money, right? Or they're struggling to know how to raise money in their business as their problem. Or they're realizing from listening to Paul that maybe there's a lot of different questions. The investor deck, there's all these questions that are coming up. Well, it's because Paul is talking about these problems and these are problems that the audience isn't even aware of yet in some cases, right? Now with Lindsay, these stay-at-home moms, they're like, yes, like I got some belly fat, right? Like I want to get rid of this. I want to, trim up. I want to look better. And so they realize the problem from what Lindsay's talking about, but the way that Lindsay talks about it and tells stories up here helps them really digest and understand, and it helps them and inspire them, right, to orient. So Wanda, same kind of thing that you talked about, right, in your question is how do you get them to kind of relate to that? Well, if you start identifying a strong enough problem of, are you sick of the 9-to-5 grind? Do you wish that you could be able to work from home, travel the world like I have, and invest in real estate, and to create residual income coming in to your family so you don't have to always stress about money, right? And so you've created that problem, and the framework and the solution is flipping houses and real estate and all of that. And so it starts to become where the person takes that problem of the 9-to-5 and they start to orient themselves and they start to change in a way so that they can get to the end solution. So it's kind of that slight adjustment right there. The next thing that's going to happen is the decision phase. So naturally, let's just say that, for example, Lindsay talks about the problem to her audience, and exercise is just a really simple example here, right? They realize that they want to lose weight. That's the problem. The solution is that they need to work out more and eat less, right? And eat more of the right things. And so she's identified and she knows where their observation is, how they're going to orient, what the solution is, and now they need to make a choice. And what's magical about this is that through her problems and the solution framework that she's created in the observe and orient stages, when it comes down to the choice, they're like, you can go to a gym and pay for a membership and deal with broken machinery and all the other stuff and dealing with people grunting by you and sweating on the machinery and doing all this stuff. Or you can pay an arm and a leg to go to some private gym and overpay. Or here's a crazy solution. Why don't you just join my boot camp for the same cost as a gym membership for 6 months and join and actually get real change and be able to work out from home? It's up to you. Make the choice. Well, now it becomes really enticing when they go to decide. They're looking at these different options that they have in front of them, and it makes it really simple. Now, when they go to act, that's the moment of transaction where they're actually handing you money for the solution that you've provided up here in the observe and orient stages. So the key to this is to understand what the person looks like. They're warm here, and then this is where they're, hot, ready to buy. It's when they've been warmed up enough. So when we're thinking of, running, large scale ad campaigns, what we want is a lot of content that helps people observe. What are the problems? What are the solutions? The next phase is that how are they going to orient? How do you provide a framework and solutions where they can actually test out different things about your business, where you've provided them solutions, they practice it, and they're like, holy crap, this works. So now when they come down and they get to this decision phase, it becomes so much easier to have the conversation over the phone, through a direct message, or just a direct purchase to the action. And so what I want you to be thinking about in your content over the next week or two is that we're going to help you create this framework where the content that you're creating is going to correspond with where that person's at in their journey. So we're going to give you some assignments to be able to create the observe, orient type of content here this week, and then we're going to help you with the decide and act content next week. All right?
With that, Dylan, that's really related to what Kyle said, to be the people are asleep, then aware, awake. So
Yep.
Those are the stages anyway.
Exactly. Same type of principle that applies. It's just where people are at in the buying decision or in the education decision, right?
So in the observe they are asleep. And then in the orient, they starting to wake up a little bit, and then by decision they're aware.
Exactly. Yep. Cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Dylan, I can't quite read your second O. I'm on my phone. What's the words by the second O on the right? Yeah.
Over here?
Yeah.
Framework to a solution.
Okay, thank you.
So you're helping them realize the problem. You're creating a framework and a solution to that problem. And then they're going to need to make a choice, and they're going to have their options to make that decision. And then the act is that moment of transaction. All right. So should we show the ad account?
Yeah.
So let me just show you an example of what this looks like. And I'm going to pause this one. I'll go back to my computer.
We cannot hear you.
All right. Okay, so let me just show you an example of this in our account here. So grab this. share my screen. All right, can you guys see this Facebook ad account here? Yes?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so inside of this ad account, we've just been testing a few things the last few days here. So I'm just gonna go back and I'm just gonna look at the last 7 days. I'll just get that in there too, update this. Okay, so what I wanna show you here is these are problem solution videos that we've created based on organic content that we've created, and we've looked at the organic content just like you guys are going to be doing this week, and we've decided, okay, these are the videos that are doing really well. Next to each of these videos, so the way that we kind of talk about it is that this is top of funnel. We're targeting small business owners. These are problem solution videos. And then here's the topic that I have for the video is automated marketing campaign. And then that number off to the right, do you guys see that there? That number is how long the video is. So this one's 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 22 seconds, 7 minutes, 18 seconds, 6 minutes, 13 seconds, and then 6 minutes and 6 seconds, okay? So that's the length at which we created these videos. I didn't set a certain timer. I didn't do anything. All I did was I wanted to just thoroughly talk about the problems and then the solutions to the problems in the market. And this is the opportunity where we need to think back, and we need to think back to how this is where we start to tell stories. And on each of these videos, we want to be able to tell a problem story of somebody who has experienced this, or when I personally experienced this, what was the transition phase? So let me just go through some of these numbers here so it makes a little bit more sense. So here's how much money we spent. So in this column right here is the amount spent. So in the last week on this, just on this small campaign here, we spent $148. We've reached 18,000 people, and we're paying about 3 to 4 cents per through play. And then this is telling me how long people watch the video for. So 421 people watched 25%, 311 watched 50. So you'll see the numbers kind of start to decline. But what's amazing about this, and what I was pleasantly surprised, is that 216 people watched these videos 100% of the way through. Now, these aren't like massive numbers, right? But what this tells me is that these problems and the solutions are what the market wants. And you can tell by the number of video views. So I can kind of look at the numbers here on this right column where it says video plays at 100%. And we can look at which ones are getting, the most video views, right? And so we look at this one here at 55 video views. So then I click here, and I'll just show you this. Do you guys think it's fun looking at ad accounts?
Yes.
You're like, yeah, I want to spend money and make lots of money in an ad account one day, right? Well, let's do it. So this is really simple, like copy in here. So let me go to, let's go Facebook post with comments. So I just want to show you how simple the copy is for this. And what I thought was really interesting is that when we have a really clear problem to a solution type of video, and like we do that, in the first 5 seconds, we talk about the problem and the solution of what we're going to be talking about in the video, how easy it is to create a headline from that. It just happens naturally. It's so easy. All right, so I want to share with you, let me actually turn on my volume here, and I'm going to just play the beginning of this. Formula, okay? Today I'm going to share with you what it actually takes to create an automated marketing campaign, okay? And it's what the gurus aren't going to tell you. And plain and simple, before I go through this whole journey of what it actually takes, I'm just going to share with you is that it takes hard work. There's no shortcuts in this. There's no silver bullet. There's no magical formula, okay? It just takes a lot of hard work, and you have to know the strategic path to be able to get there. So I'm going to share with you what the path is. So if we look over here, so the objective is to create, all right, so in the beginning of that video, we're pinpointing the problems to the solutions and hooking them into watching and figuring out what it actually is, okay? And through the course of this video, we're going to be talking about different topics, and feel free to, you can use a whiteboard or things like that. This is very simple, right? Magnetic offer, content mastery, lead generation, and then we dive into a more thorough, let's see here as it catches up. We talk about what it's like in terms of numbers and clients, and we just kind of go through what the ads look like and the campaigns, so on and so forth, okay? I won't bore you with watching all 9 minutes, but you should watch all these videos. I've been posting all of these on my personal page, and I really need more views, Wanda, so if you could watch them a couple times. I'm just kidding.
I will. I watch many of them, so I like them.
Yeah, I think Wanda has been watching it, because she's been commenting on them. So, and
I comment, which is important.
That's right. That's right. No, appreciate it. But yeah, these are real problems that, we all face in scaling our marketing campaigns, and we have to be really clear about some of these certain parameters. And so as we're going through this, the next step would be, if we're looking at the ad account specifically, I want to kind of give you this framework to be thinking about this is, so after people see these problem solution videos, what we want to do is the next stage. So observe and orient is this problem solution phase. So people are observing what you're doing, what the problems are, what the solutions are. They're starting to orient. And then the next set of videos that we'll create are the actual decision videos, which is going to be where we're going to be talking about more about our internal beliefs, our core beliefs, and how that ties into what their decision-making process is. It's where we talk about more of our lifestyle, and we share more personal stories, our personal beliefs about what we coach on or what we teach, and it just ingrains that further down the funnel so that they become warmer and warmer and warmer and are begging to work with you. And so what we'll do is we'll show ads. We don't necessarily want to show ads to all 18,000 people that saw this. Why would we want to spend money on the 14,000 people who didn't watch these videos or really engage with them at all, right? Do we want to show ads to the people who watch 25%? Maybe, right? Maybe we want to show them some more videos that maybe talk about problem solutions. Maybe they were busy at the time, but the people that we really want to show the next phase in the funnel and show them, here's an actual offer that you can buy right now, or sign up for my course, or, submit your information to jump on a call or send me a message. Those people, we want to be talking to the people who are serious, who've been watching 75% plus in the video. And so I'm going to let Mason share his thoughts on this too, and kind of how this structure plays out, because this is really important for you to understand that it doesn't matter how many views you're getting organically right now. With just $100, you could reach 239 people that watch 75% of your video and share your offer with them. And now it becomes much easier to actually start to see movement with purchasing your course or whatever your offer is. Okay. You want to?
Yeah.
Here, I'll just go.
So the reason that we kind of come up with this approach is
just to kind of set the stage, what we're seeing a lot of over the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I guess maybe more like 10 years, people have been doing webinars and have been selling books. And so what we're finding is those can definitely still work, but the attention rate, I guess you could say, is really starting to drop off. A webinar is like a really intense time commitment. And the way that a lot of people structure webinars is you sign up, you have to sit there for who knows how long, and you can't fast forward, you can't come back to it later a lot of times. And so people are just dropping off because life's busy and our attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. Same with like a book. If you sign up for a book speaking to a specific problem, like doing real estate investing or things like, or fitness, a lot of people won't sit down and read the entire book. And so what we're doing is taking this approach. We're able to gauge that attention rate much more accurately. So if somebody watches a 9-minute video, we know, okay, 50%, so 75 people watched 4 minutes and 30 seconds of that video. So we know that they sat there and they consumed that content. We know that they are resonating with the problem that Dallin's describing. And so because of that, we can then show them something else so that we have a much higher attention rate through each video, and we're only targeting the people who are paying attention. Whereas if you're getting, hundreds of signups to a webinar and they only watch 10% of it and they get frustrated and leave, that doesn't give us very good information, and it doesn't warm them up to the point that they want to actually buy. So we're basically structuring the ads in such a way that the people that we then present offers to have been people that we know have actually spent, ideally hours with us already. And we know that they're resonating and they're liking and commenting, and maybe they've joined our Facebook group. So to illustrate that, so what we've done here in this ad account is we've structured that middle of funnel. So the top of funnel, we're running to cold traffic, these problem solution. And so what we're doing is we're then targeting the people who have watched 50% or more with our middle of funnel videos. And we're only spending like $2 per day on 3 videos right now. So it's very, very cheap. And we're getting a really, really high engagement. So we're getting people to watch 10-minute videos for like 20 cents. That's really, really valuable time that they're spending with Dallin and understanding kind of what we do. And that's what we can do with your videos. As you go in through and create these, we're going to be able to see, once we run ads to them, how much of the video they're watching, and then only show the next video to the people who we know are paying attention. So I hope that gives a little bit more context around the way that I'm thinking about it and the way we're structuring campaigns, and why this approach is so powerful, because not only is it going to work organically, but it's going to fit in perfectly with how we structure ad campaigns in a way that's pretty innovative right now in the whole market. Webinars we think are kind of on the downslide. They're dying, at least in my opinion. A lot of people are still trying to do it, but we're just seeing those attention rates just kind of fall off a cliff in the last year or so. So,
yeah. Yeah, and it's so interesting to watch this transition. And like, if we really want to reach the audience that we want and make the money that we deserve, then we've got to do things different than the market. And so today I want to just share with you one more thing as we kind of conclude here. I want to show you the actual process of the funnel that I want you to start thinking about based on these changes that are happening in the market. And that is one of the profound things one of the best things about having this group right now, and for you investing in this, is that we're seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on Facebook ads, and we're auditing accounts every single day. Just yesterday, I was auditing an account where they've been spending over the last 90 days, they spent close to $70,000, right? And so when I look at that and I see how their webinar numbers are dropping and I start seeing these different trends, it starts to bring up, well, what's the new way to do things? And today I'm going to show with you this new concept based on these foundational principles that we've been working on. I want you to get this mindset. And this is something that you're like, well, this is nothing new, but it is going to be something, it's going to be different than what other people are doing right now in your space. So let me just share. I'm going to go back to the whiteboard real quick, and I'm going to share this with you, and we'll jump back on here. All right. Can everyone see the board again? Blurry.
Yeah.
I'm not cool like Kyle, and I don't have an iPad that I can just scratch on, so we're going to do this on the board. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. All right. So we were talking about this content that we're creating up here, and your assignment this week is to create 14 problem solution videos. Okay, so by Sunday night, we want 14 problem solution videos. So you're going to go down the list and you're just going to keep making these. Now, we've talked about positioning your content so that we follow a certain offer delivery formula. So when we've talked about the formula, we've identified a couple different areas. We've identified that there is an intro, an offer. In this case, we're going to be talking about the problem and the solution to the problem, offer, a story, and position a soft offer. So this is your offer delivery formula that we've already talked about. We've already, you guys have been working on this of positioning and making sure there's an offer and these different things. Well, now I'm going to make it really clear of what the actual offer is. So all of this content is going to have the same offer, call to action. It's going to be if you've had problems with this, or if this is resonating with you, or if you found that this has been a struggle for you and you'd like more help and support. I obviously can't go into as much detail right now on Facebook, right now in the next 5 minutes, but I would love to be able to share more with you. So the direct call to action is going to be to join my Facebook group. Every single one of these videos is going to say, if you'd like more of this, join my Facebook group. What's great about that is, number one, you don't have to worry about building out a huge marketing funnel on ClickFunnels right now. All you have to worry about is getting people into your Facebook group. Inside of that Facebook group, you're going to be posting not only these problem solution videos, but you can do some longer trainings with a captive audience. So in just the last week, we've added to our Facebook group about 100 people from these ads and from our own invitations and actions. And then inside of this Facebook group, we're sharing with them these longer videos or these longer trainings of these problems and solutions. And what's great about this is, you know, the old way of doing this was to have, you know, a bunch of landing pages, or you had to send them to a webinar, or you had to have a lead magnet right away, so on and so forth. What we're saying is that you're going to create content, ask them to join your group, and then you're going to basically do trainings that are similar to webinars inside of the Facebook group. You're going to basically have a page, basically a funnel page. It's your Facebook group page, okay? Lead magnets say, hey guys, here's a document that I created the other day that I thought would be really helpful. I created this for one of my clients, and it's getting them great results. You should download this and use it. What's great about this as well is that you don't have to worry about email, because every time you post inside the group, that's basically email. People are going to check their phone and check Facebook just as much as they're going to check their email accounts, probably more so, okay? And so the chances of people seeing your content and engaging with it is going to go through the roof. And so if you have all of this content, you're all leading them to a community here inside of the Facebook group. The other interesting thing that's going to happen is that as you do that, and you start having all this come to play, then when you position, let's say you get, you know, 1,000 people into here, into your group. Now when you say to this 1,000 people, you say, hey, I am starting a 6-week course, or I'm doing a master class, and I can only take 20 people. So the first 20 out of you 1,000 that are following me and watching these videos and being part of this group are going to get access to that. And because you're in my group, you're going to get a discount. You're going to get, you know, $25, you know, off because of this, because you're in this group. This provides so much more value. The people who watch all of these videos are then going to get the videos that we're going to talk about next week, so on and so forth. So let me just take a moment and just answer questions that you have about this.
Well, that is enlightening. I already created a page for myself. Like I created actually because I have a team of people. I created one that is the network. I call it WOW Network, because it's World of Wealth Network. And the ones who are in the network are the ones who are already working with me. Then I have one that is Wow Revolution. Those are the ones that are interested. They're prospects only. And cool. Then I have, you know, so I've been putting people in that funnel, creating that funnel.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So the Facebook group that you're going to be asking people to join at the problem and solution level that we were just talking about here are going to be the prospects.
Yes.
And the people that are already working with you, those are also great people to have in the group, because they're going to make the experience for all the people who don't know you that much better.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you're truly providing, you know, value in there, then people will stick around, they'll engage, and your current clients and people will just be really active because they want more of you, right? And it's a way that they don't have to pay more to have access to you, and you get the added benefit where you don't have to pay them, and they get to talk about how amazing you are. And it creates a really cool synergy in there. So let's just go back to really quickly. So the assignment to create the 14 pieces of content this week, what I want you to start with, and I'll drop this into the classroom. I'll make sure I draft it up. I want to make sure there wasn't any questions or anything like that before I put it live, but I want you to list out 5 to 10 problems that your market is facing. 5 to 10 problems your market is facing. And, you know, Eric made the point of, well, I found a competitor that talks about some different things and made some great points and talks to the market in a really good way. Well, that's awesome. So go and identify the 5 things that they're talking about the most, add your own 5 things, and now you have 10 items that you're talking about. And what you're going to do is you're going to pinpoint, and you're going to use this, this framework here. The intro, make sure in the first 5 seconds you capture their attention. You present your offer. So you're going to say, today I'm going to be talking about X, Y, and Z problem and why people face this, and that there's an easier way, you guys. And I'm going to be talking about today. And if you find this interesting and you want to see more videos like this, then I would invite you to click on the link that I put in this post to join my Facebook group. They click on the link, right? Okay, so let me just talk about this problem. And, you know, let me just start by telling you a story about somebody who is facing this exact same problem and what we did to help, you know, create a solution. Now, if you felt that same problem, then I would invite you to click on the link, join the Facebook group, and you'll see the community in there of people who are trying to, you know, get into real estate as well. And, you know, just to tell you a quick story, about a year ago, I was struggling and I was working, I think, nonstop and trying to figure things out. And it's when I found, you know, real estate as the vehicle to help me get to where I need to go. So join the Facebook group, and I'm so excited to see you over there and provide additional training and resources for you for absolutely free. So jump in there and we'll see you on the other side. All right. Now they're in your Facebook group and you're providing massive value and things are going well. Okay. So let me just switch this back around. So the whole concept here is list out the 5 to 10 problems. And if you want to go back and look at your magnetic offer observation sheet and the what is the other one? Both of the observation sheets that we did the first 2 weeks. Yeah, the offer development sheet. You've actually identified a lot of those problems and pains. So I want you to take that list and expand on it. And then I want you to take and create 14 problem solution videos by Sunday night, map them out, and then just start sharing and creating those videos. You don't have to do them live. You can create them and then start scheduling them out as posts. So you can schedule out 2 videos today, 2 videos tomorrow, 2 videos the next day, and just get into a rhythm. If you want to batch them all at once and just schedule them out as premieres or just straight up posts, it doesn't matter. The call to action is to join the Facebook group. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so for those of you who don't have a Facebook group, you'll have an additional assignment to create a Facebook group. And what I would encourage you to do is just go in. It's pretty easy to create a group. And then I want you just to go through, if you're like, well, I've never done that before, I have no clue how to do that. I want you to get familiar enough with it because you're going to be managing a community. Okay. And so I want you to go in there and I want you just to go through all the settings, get really familiar. And then if you have questions, drop those into the Facebook group. And all of us, I want all of us, if Paul asks a question that Lindsay knows, or Lindsay asks a question that Eric knows, like I want all of us to come together and help each other answer those questions. And Mason and I will also be in there to help you. And Ashley, my assistant, will also be helping with that as well. So you have the video content, creating the Facebook group, and giving them the call to action to do that. And then I think that is it.
So darling,
Yep.
darling, your black box community, that one we can invite friends?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
yep.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if you want us to invite friends or it was only for your clients, but it's for everybody.
Yeah, so the black box, just regular black box, not ultra, not what you guys are in. That's just a general community one. We're actually going to be creating another group to kind of test out a couple different things. We're going to name it the OODA method. And then a lot of the content that we started creating is going to be geared around the OODA method. And we're going to be talking about how your audience is observing, orient, deciding, and acting, and where your content fits into that whole scheme. Okay. And so I'll have a couple different groups just to be, I'm kind of split testing and seeing what's working, what's not working, and see what happens. And then I can give you guys some feedback on the following like a certain tactic or method as like the leading topic or content for the group. Cool.
And would you tell us how to create the units? Because I noticed in one of the communities you put the units, and I haven't been able to figure out how to put units into my page.
Yeah, so that's just in your settings. So if you just go to settings in the Facebook group, and there's different types of groups. There's just like a regular group, and there's another style is social learning, which is where you have the unit sections available to you.
Okay.
Yep, is when you have the unit section.
So I can update my page, or do I need to create a new one with the educational mode?
So you can use your
My
existing
own
one that you already have, and I think that you can go back and I think that you can change the settings on it too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Cool. All right, you guys, what did you think of today's training?
Very good.
Did we learn something today?
Yep.
Good. I know it was kind of a lot to cover today, and there's a lot of stuff that kind of brings us all together, but I think you're going to notice, I know that, James has been on the edge of his seat, and he's like, he wants to move, at about 10 times the speed that we're going at right now, right? And so what I want you to realize is that all of this is going to compound, and in the next few weeks, as you start doing these types and styles of video and start delivering this call to action, you're going to have a captive group that is getting massive value who are watching 10-minute videos from you. Those people will buy from you. People who just see a post here and there, they don't engage, there's no call to action to join some sort of community, or they download something, there's not the same level of commitment from those people as someone who watches a 10-minute video all the way through. And so I want you to think about that, how much easier it's going to be when you have 1,000 people who are watching 100% of your 10-minute videos inside of a Facebook group. When James says, hey, I've got this workshop coming up. I'd love to fill, I have 15 spots or I have 20 spots available, first come, first serve. They're all going to be like, well, tell me how to do this, right? And that's what we want to create is that hype, that scarcity a little bit inside of that group. And it's going to allow you to not only, capture those people, but also raise prices, to fill your events, to sell your courses, so on and so forth. So do you guys think it's funny that like all day I've been like smacking Mason in the head with my hand? Oh man.
Hey, Dallin. So I assume this is a public group, not a private group, right?
Yeah, it's public. Yep.
And I have, a bunch of not a bunch, but a number of videos I created for my website. It's all on the topic, although they don't follow this formula, but they're obviously videos I can drop into the Facebook group for them to watch, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then any articles that you've done or anything like that, that's a great place to just give them massive value. Share, hey, read this interesting article today. Thought you guys might enjoy it. Comment below what you think about this. Tell me if you've ever experienced something like this, or you've had the same question, right? And it's a really good place to have those kind of conversations where sometimes you wouldn't get into enough engagement, or it would just seem kind of weird on just like a regular post. But sharing it in a group setting like that, it creates a more of an intimate setting, so it becomes much easier to share random things and things that you're thinking about, or share that type more personal type style stuff, right?
So okay, I got it. So the Facebook algorithm, when you have your own Facebook group and I post something, whether it's an article or a video, does Facebook notify everyone in the group, or do they just notify part of the people in the group?
So it depends if they tag you. It depends on the person's settings with the group. How I think the algorithm also looks at how often you are contributing in the group, but also how often the people are engaging in the group. So the more often they're engaging, the longer the people are staying in the group and engaging with you, the more likely they're going to see more posts and stuff like that on their feed, on like the actual feed that they're, when they jump onto Facebook.
Okay.
So basically what it comes down to is, if you are talking about the problems that they're really facing and you're providing real solutions, and then inviting them to join you for, a 6-week course, or you're doing all that kind of stuff, and you're creating a group that sees massive value in what you're doing, then you'll stand out in the algorithm and everything will kind of work in your favor. And the more people and the more audience that you create and you captivate, the cheaper your ads are going to cost when you start running ads at scale.
Okay.
Because Facebook's going to look at you as more relevant, more active, and you are creating communities, which is what Facebook wants. That's Facebook's mission and goal, is to create communities and a social experience.
Okay. And then as far as the settings, I've never set up a Facebook group. I'll go through and look through it, but
Yep.
I know one of the settings is probably, do you allow people to comment without your approval or only with your approval?
Yep. I would just leave it open. And then as people, if you have somebody who's, not playing by the rules and not being nice or saying inappropriate things, then I just remove them from the group.
Got it.
And let that be a warning to you all. I'm just kidding. So yeah. Any other questions, you guys?
Is it branding, so like the image for the group? I don't have any of that stuff ready. How important is that?
Don't overthink it. Just throw up a picture of you, speaking or putting on your event or your workshop or doing something. Just throw something up there as your cover image.
Okay.
You don't have to go through a crazy design process or anything like that.
Okay.
Pull out Canva. If you've ever used Canva, just create a quick little thing about your group if that helps. But I wouldn't spend time on that, like a lot of time on that. If it's valuable enough, like the branding and all that stuff will come eventually. What you need is to create massive amounts of valuable content and start sharing it to get people there. And then just start inviting as many people to the group as possible too. You don't have to sit or wait around for people to click on the post that you're doing to join the group. Go and invite as many people as you know that you would love to have conversations with and you would love to work with, right?
Cool.
Family, friends, anybody that you think would engage, past clients, me. I'd like to be in all of your guys' groups, making sure, just kind of giving you feedback or anything like that. I won't do that right in the group. I'll share that outside of it for you. So,
and that leads to another question, kind of, because I feel like I'm becoming a slave to Facebook and all this stuff, and I'm not even doing a fraction of what you're doing. So, I mean, how many groups, and you're keeping plugged into all of that, and you're engaging all of them? I mean, how much of your day are you allotting to going to Facebook and manage my leads in Facebook?
Yeah, great question. So I hired an assistant like 6 months ago who does all of it for me. And I can teach you how to do that. But you need to learn it enough so that you can manage somebody too, right? Because if you don't know it inside and out, when they mess up the settings or when they're doing something and you have no clue, like how are you supposed to manage or to lead them if they don't know, right? Or you don't know, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Lindsay has a couple assistants that help her with all of her social media. Like she gets, 100 messages a week, right? Through social media channels. And so she doesn't have time to go through all of that. So Lindsay, you what does your assistant do on a weekly basis for you with your social media?
So I have one assistant that manages my my Facebook page, and it doesn't take her long. I think she spends like an hour a day on it, so it doesn't cost me a ton for the month. But she goes through my post because it's a big page, and so it takes a lot of time. She goes through all the posts. She responds as me, and in the beginning I had to coach her a lot on how to talk like me and stuff like that. So she responds as me to all the comments, make sure she likes all the comments. She answers any visitor posts and all messages. And she does messages twice a day. She could do it more, but I mean, that seems like it's enough for now. And then, yeah, that's all that assistant does for Facebook. I do the groups and stuff, but the groups don't take long. Like I have a couple, I mean, kind of good. I have a private group for only clients that has a few hundred in that. And then I have it's still a private group, but it's more public. I allow anyone into it, mainly just because people don't want to be talking about weight loss, like, and have it on their feeds and stuff. And that has, I think it's almost 3,000. And it takes me probably half hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening to go through and respond to every single post and stuff. So it's not like, I mean, it's not huge. And then messages, I would say like maybe an hour to 2 to 3 a day for Facebook. Probably 2, maybe. I mean, that's counting content and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so like, you know, James, you're like, oh man, that's a lot of time, right? Like, but like the thing is it's like when it is the fuel for your business and when your group is like, when you don't have to spend 3 hours also like building out funnels and doing all the other stuff because you have a group that you sell stuff to and it becomes really easy. And when you actually are starting to make money so that you can hire new people and create new products and not feel the stress and the weight of like Facebook coming down on you, it actually becomes really exciting, right? When you can go in and you're like, I'm going to go make some money today. I'm going to go on Facebook, right? Like, it's like, if you know that if you're going to go in there, like you have to start monetizing and using Facebook to make money. And as soon as you do that, then it's like, how do I spend 10 hours on Facebook every day by multiplying myself and getting more people and creating more content and batching more things and videoing myself doing, you know, at my events so that I can grab that content and splice it up and throw it up there and like just keep your audience so engaged with content that it's the first thing that you want to do every single day, right? It's what drives your whole business, and you don't have to be a slave to it. Once you learn and get empowered by it because you've learned it, you've dove deep into it, and you understand how the Facebook group operates, every setting on how to create posts, and you're innovating and you're creating valuable content that people are watching, I promise you that it's going to switch, and you're not going to be a slave to it. Facebook's going to be your slave, right?
Yeah,
you're going to use Facebook to make you a lot of money.
I was going to say the same thing, like you'll switch your mindset from thinking like that's more admin stuff to like that's my job. Like my business is that's how I talk to people. You know, I don't go to a gym and coach people one-on-one. I go onto Facebook and train people that way. And so my admins do the thing, like if there's something that someone else can do for me, I have them do it for me. But the content creation and like the actual coaching of people, like that's done by me on Facebook. So when I say I'm on Facebook a few hours a day, it's not just like, oh, here's my web. It's like actual working, you know?
Well, you're not consuming, you're producing.
Yeah, yes. Oh yeah, I don't ever scroll my feed. People are like, did you see my feed? I'm like, no, I don't ever scroll my feed.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just working.
Yeah.
Okay, well guys, let's wrap up here. Thank you for staying a little bit later today. You guys are awesome. Get to work, start creating a list of problems and solutions, and start getting to work on creating that video content and scheduling it out this week. Get 14 videos done. Next week, we're going to build off of that. We're going to do the next level into your funnel of that decision phase and help create content there. And then we'll kind of go from there into the action phase and how to start to make money with all of this fun stuff. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, you guys, have an awesome day. We'll catch you guys soon. Good luck, and drop your questions into the group.
Sounds good. Thanks.
We'll see ya.
See ya.